If we say that's the law, they're saying they are actually cutting it off. That was their claim. Well, you're going to kill him. But if it was just a curse, what does the curse have to do with his stomach? Elamai dinatanan. You want to say that it means that it's the law. So why do they have to cut his hand off when it's on his stomach? Doesn't sound like sounds like they cut the hand off, on whatever they would do on the. They put it on what's that block they call it? Chopping. Ella hachikama. Rather, this is what it was saying. Hachikama Reb Tarfon. This is what Reb Tarfon was saying. Kalamachnes yad l'matami tabura. Anyone that puts his hand under his navel, he cuts it. Should be cut off. Amrlai. They said to Amrlai Reb Tarfon. Said to Reb Tarfon, Yashalei kaitz b'kreise. If someone has a splinter in his stomach, layitleno, he can't take it out. Amrlahen loy. He says, no, you have to leave it. They said, Valei kreisen of kas. The splinter could cause his stomach to burst, some sort of infection or something. Better that it stomach should burst than he should go to Gehenna. But it wasn't that the Bezdin was going to chop his hand off while it's on his stomach.
And we have a tradition that Rabbi Yehuda never put his hand below his belt.
Yeah. So
he was so holy, it was such unusual that it was worth talking about.
Right. So that's Taisa's question. It's a very good point. We have another, a larger trophy here. Taisus on the last page in Yud Gimel says, we said Rabbi Yehuda was called Rabbeinu HaKadosh. Why was he so holy? Because he never put his hand below his belt. But here it looks like that's the law. Why you tell Rabbi Yehuda Anasi? That's we call him Rabbeinu HaKadosh. It says the Chiddush was that he was married. Even though he was married, he never put his hand below his belt. And even though there's a heter, even if a person's married, when he uses the bathroom, he's allowed to hold his bris milah, as opposed to someone that's not married, that's not supposed to. So even though he was married, he still didn't. Okay. The Mishnah says, Achareshes, this is, usually Chareshes is deaf and mute. Bahashaita is an imbecile. Vasuma, blind. Shinichva daita is someone that lost their mind for whatever illness. Im yeshlem pikches, if they have with them people that are healthy, regular people, misaknesaisan, they can check them to make sure that they're tahar. Vehina eichlas b'truma, and they can eat truma. Truma was if these women were kohenes in the family of a kohen.
The Sharia law, they still do this.
Oh.
Sharia law, you sure you got that right?
They cut off the hand. That's true.
Oh, take it from us.
Okay. Yeah, but he says they took it from us. Dr. Stein. They took it from us.
They take a little interpretation, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. Wow.
There must have been, it could be, whatever.
That's the left hand.
I'm giving the Rav the benefit of the doubt that this wasn't literal.
Chareshes.
Okay, bye.
I know that hand. He was on the Adams family.
That deaf woman, the Gemara asks, why do you need someone else to examine her to see if she can eat from Truma, to see if she's tar? Eat if the klenafsha, let her examine herself, the Tanya. Start in a brisa. This you're going to like much more, Dr. Stein.
Okay, you're already sick.
Stay focused.
Yeah.
Amar Rebbe. Rebbe says, look at this. This is it could be a good proof for some modern claims. It says, Amar Rebbe, there was this woman that was deaf. She lived in our neighborhood. Not only did she examine herself, but she would examine for the other women as well. You follow? She was a rabba. She was examining for other women. Okay, you see, there's a precedent for that.
But she was blind.
She was deaf.
She was deaf.
Oh, deaf.
We'll see in a
This is
moment.
about Re'iyah.
Yeah, but she was able to examine. So why? That's a proof that she can examine. She was not only examining for herself, other women would show it to her, and she would be able to see. Probably when people have a deficiency in one area, they have what's it called, a strength in another area. So probably her vision was much higher, and so she was able to see.
Doesn't answer another question either. Was she deaf from birth?
So look at this. Watch this. Yeah, very good. It says Hasa over the b'medaberes ve'ina shemas. She was only deaf, but she wasn't mute. Hacha b'sheina medaberes ve'ina shemas. Here we're saying that she was deaf and mute, and the assumption is that a deaf mute is someone that couldn't hear or speak from birth. So I'm adding that in, but I saw that somewhere. Keditanan, as it was taught in the Mishnah, so Rabbi was talking about a woman that couldn't hear, but she could speak. And so she went to school, and she knows everything. She communicated with people, and she knows what she's doing. She can't hear. So that was fine. But a woman that can't communicate and was never able to communicate, so how does she know? So for that, we have to rely on others. Asuma, a blind woman, the Gemara asks, she can still do the examination, at least the insertion, and let someone else look at it. So Amar Rabbi Asuma Eina Mishnah. Take that out. That's not part of the Mishnah. Okay, we've had that before. The Mishnah gets corrected, gets edited. If she lost her mind, the Gemara says, 1 second, Hainu Shaita, that's an imbecile. Same thing. Went crazy or was crazy. What's the difference? The Gemara says, Shenitchva daita machmas chayli. She lost her mind because of an illness, which means that it was later on. Doesn't explain why that should have to be said twice. Okay, I don't know. Some illness. Tanu Rabbanan. So both of them need to be examined by others. Tanu Rabbanan is taught in the Bais. Kayan shaita matbilin isai. A kayan that's a imbecile. They take him to the mikvah, and machil naisid shumal erev. They wait for nightfall, and he can eat shuma. Gets a meal. But they make sure that he doesn't fall asleep. There's a concern if he's going to fall asleep, he's going to become tummy. Yashan, but if he does fall asleep, then he's tummy. La Yashan, if he doesn't fall asleep, then he's tar. Very good. Rabbi Lazar bar Tzaddik Aimer. We're going to have Rabbi Lazar bar Tzaddik in Mesachtas Nidda in several areas.
Is it concerned that he touches himself when he's sleeping? What's
Could be.
sleeping?
Could be.
Based on the next thing,
Probably. Or just maybe he had a mission.
Uh-huh.
Rabbi Lazar bar Tzaddik is the one that his father was the one that fasted for 40 years, and they had doctors.
Right.
And Rabbi Lazar bar Tzaddik in Mesachtas Nidda several times we're going to have that the doctors of my father told me different things, that he has different information. Rabbi Lazar bar Tzaddik says, they make a type of underwear that would go over him, made out of leather. And what they would do is they would examine it to see if it had any shichva zera in it. If it had shichva zera in it, then he would be tummy. If not, he's tired, so they can still eat even if he falls asleep. Amr Lai, they told to Rabbi Lazar bar Tzaddik, Kolshkin shmei v'leichimim, that's not good. It's going to warm his body, and it's going to cause the shichva zera to come. If he's going to have some tight sort of cloth, underwear. Amr Lahem, he says to them, L'divreichem, according to you, shaita ein takana, what are you going to do for a shaita? He's not going to be able to eat truma. Amr Lai, L'dvareinu, according to us, we have a solution. Yashan, then he's tummy, but lo yashan, he's tar. If he falls asleep, you're right. But if he doesn't fall asleep, he's fine. But L'dvarecha, according to you, shamir tipa kechardal v'tivla bekis. We don't trust your that case that you're going to have over his bris. We don't trust that, because that could be it's going to get absorbed into the material. Tani mishum Rabbi Elazar. Tana started in a Bais mishum Rabbi Elazar. Amru, they said in the name of Rabbi Elazar, Oisen like kiss shel matechas. it's different. If they would make it out of metal, then it won't be warming. It would be naturally cool. Rabbi says, better if it's from copper. What type of metal would be a copper? Necheshus could be copper, bronze, whatever Necheshus was. I don't know what it was, what they had in that time period. It was copper. They were using copper.
It naturally occurs.
Right.
Naturally
When it says in the Torah
substance.
Necheshus, is it it was copper or bronze? Copper. Okay.
Didn't we have a Bronze Age?
When was bronze being used?
I don't know.
Well, bronze was always available. People knew how to make bronze, but copper occurs naturally. Easy to get.
And what is brass?
Is copper mixed with iron?
Brass is already a mixture.
And is that's more recent?
I think I would guess so, because you have to have something that gets hot enough that you can.
Okay. So Kedetanya, we'll start in a Bais. What's going on here is the water of the paraduma. If someone carries it, it becomes tameh. But he has to carry a certain amount. Now, if he's carrying only a little bit, then what's going to happen is when he's going to stick the grass in it, it's going to diminish the amount that he's carrying. So Rabbi Yehuda said that you don't have to be concerned about that, because the grass, you imagine that the grass is made out of copper, which doesn't absorb, which means that it's not going to take in any of the liquid, and he's still going to be tameh. So we're bringing a proof from what he says about paraduma water, that copper doesn't absorb, that you can use copper as a case to be able to check if there was shechva zera there. Amar Rav Papa. Papa says, listen to this. Shema mina, we see from here, michnasayim asurim, that you're not allowed to wear pants. Someone's got to draw a picture of what they were wearing over there. They must have, what do they call those gowns? The Arab, they wear these long gowns, right? You see these Muslim kids, they wear like the long.
What's it called? Dish or dish dash?
It's a robe.
Is that what it is?
There's a word.
Robes,
Some sort of robe. That's what they wore.
It's Fardim. They wore.
Yeah, they wore the
Even
robes.
Chief Rabbi,
So
he's here now.
So mechnasayim asurim, pants is forbidden. The Gemara says, 1 second, how can you say pants is forbidden? It says that you make pants for the kayin v'aksiv asla mechnasay bad l'chasas b'sar erva. It says that they make pants. It says ahu kedetanya. That was because it was taught in a brayso. Mechnasay kayin l'mayim daimen. What is it similar to? The pants of the kayin kimin pamlanya shel prashim. Similar to an apron of riders. L'maylad masnayim l'mateh derichayim. Sounds like knickers. It went down until the knees, right? V'yeshlem shansim, they have straps. Shansim, they have some sort of string that ties it up. V'inlem beis nekev v'lei beis erva. They don't have an opening in the front or an opening in the back for the bathroom. Okay, so basically, it was a type of pants that did not touch the bris milah at all. So that's why that was allowed. So Amar Abaya, that's why the Hasidim, they wear boxers, but they wear boxers that go to, they go all the way full length boxers. They wear they call it Rabbeinu Tom's. They call the short boxers, they call Rashis. Don't ask me what they call briefs. Don't ask me that. So the Goyish underwear, they say. Okay, Amar Abaya. Abaya says, Reichvig malem asurim lechel b'truma. People that ride camels are not allowed to eat truma. Tanya Nami Hachi was also taught in a brayso. Reichvig malem kulam rishon. People that ride camels, the reason is because they would sit right against the animal, and it would rub against their body would rub against the animal, and that would be the zera could emit. So it says, the Bais says, Reichvig mal kulam rishoim, they're all wicked. Hasapanim, boat captains, sailors, kulam tzadikim, they're all tzadikim. They said the rabbi and the taxi driver went to heaven, right?
Yeah.
They say the rabbi has to go to
I'm not saying.
Gehenna, and the taxi driver, they say, goes right into Gan Eden. Said, why? He says, because when the taxi driver, when he would drive, everyone would start davening. But when the rabbi would talk, everyone would fall asleep. So, so here, the Sapanim are all tzaddikim because they would daven, the storms and the waves, they would...
Bring a raya from Yomi.
Right.
Right away they recognize that she
Right.
is.
Right. V'hachamarim, what about the people that drive donkeys? Mihem Risham Yem Tzadikim. Over there you can't know. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes they're righteous, sometimes they're wicked. Ikadamri, some say Hada Machif, Hada Lay Makif. It depends if they had a saddle on it. A camel didn't have a saddle. A donkey could have a saddle, but it didn't always. So if they drove it with a saddle, that was fine. Saddle, I think, was more wood. It wasn't just like what we imagine a saddle with some sort of like chair sort of thing that's put on it. Vikadamri, and some say Hada Meratit, the Mitartin, Hada Lay Mitartin. Depends if they would sit riding with their legs split over on both sides, one leg on each side, or if they rode like the ladies would drive side saddle. The women would drive their horses like that. They would sit on the side, and if they would drive a side saddle. Rabbi Shua ben Levi layatam on the Gania Parkid. Shua ben Levi cursed someone that laid on his back. Einy, is that so? Vam Rav Yosef. Rabbi Yosef says, Praktin leikr Kriya Shema. Someone that lays on his back should not recite the Shema. Sounds like Kriya Shema, who de la Yikra. Shouldn't recite Shema. But migna shaperdami. But if he's just going to sleep, it's not a problem. What's the problem if he's laying on his back? Two interpretations. One interpretation in Rashi is that he may be ashamed because he may have an erection and he's laying on his back. Other people are going to walk in. He's sleeping and it's going to be embarrassed. Taisus doesn't accept that. He says, "What if he's laying? What if he's in his room in his house? There's no one there." So the other interpretation is that his hands may touch his
On the
breast.
previous page, it said you shouldn't lie face down, neck up, because you might be stimulated.
Right. So here,
So what was he left with? Just
on his side. Just on his side. But it sounds like it's not a problem because it was only for Kriya Shema. It says Linyan Migna. When it comes to resting, so kimasli shapidam. If he turns to the side, it's fine. Linyan Kriya Shema, regarding Shema, kimasli it's aser. He can't lay on his side. And it says, 1 second. For Rabbi Yochanan masli v'kari Kriya Shema, it says Rabbi Yochanan turned to his side and he said Shema. See, it's acceptable to lay on your side and recite. It says Shani Rabbi Yochanan the Bal Basar Hava. Rabbi Yochanan was different because Rabbi Yochanan was very heavy. Now, what does that mean? How do they interpret? And therefore,
because he was fat, therefore.
so it was difficult for him to turn.
Slightly.
He could only turn slightly. He couldn't.
But it says his partial inclining was not a demonstration of haughtiness, so it was permitted to recite Shema in that
That's
position.
what it is. Very good. Okay, let's leave it at the Mishnah.